I'm at REIT Week 2010 in Chicago, and I'm joined by Amy Tate, CEO of Broadstone Net Lease. Amy, as a private REIT, what's been the biggest challenge that you've faced during this great recession?
Well, actually, we've done very, very well. We've continued to grow over the last several years with small individual investors. And probably our biggest challenge now as a private REIT is to bulk up and add institutional investors.
So Amy, tell me a little bit about how fundamentals are doing in the net lease space.
Well, it's really hard to generalize because there's so many different property types that can be net leased, but the two types of properties that we've really focused on have done very, very well. They were selected to be recession resistant. Our largest sector is medical office space. We have cancer centers, dental offices, physicians' offices, urgent care centers, et cetera. And unfortunately, people get sick even in recession, and so those have done very, very well and been consistent. The other sector that we have are restaurants, primarily fast food and value restaurants. And again, as people have tightened their budgets, they still like to eat out, but instead of going to fine dining restaurants, they've gone to the types of restaurants that we own. So really with 56 properties, in the last 3 years, we've had 100% occupancy, and we've only missed 1 month's rent from one tenant, and we still plan to collect that.
So now looking at the acquisition market, how are you finding the environment, and is Broadstone actively looking for deals?
Absolutely. We are very busy looking for properties. And as usual, in any market, up or down, you have to wade through a lot of trash to find those hidden gems. But we're finding them for a couple of reasons. One is we're in a market niche that's very limited. We're looking for $5 to $10 million size transactions. They're a little bit small. They're off the radar screen for a lot of the bigger institutional investors, but they're a little bit too large for the individual investor. So we're not finding a lot of competition for the things that we're buying. We're very happy about that. The other thing is, over the last few years, as we've built up our existing portfolio, we've had the advantage of an unsecured line of credit, which I know most large public REITs have, but not a lot of other smaller buyers in our sphere have had that. So we've been able to buy properties without financing contingencies. And it means that we've been able to buy properties every single quarter throughout this recession, and we've been able to close deals and do what we've said we would do. So we're really the go-to buyer for our specific sector.
Lastly, Amy, what is the biggest challenge and the biggest opportunity that you see ahead for Broadstone?
Well, our biggest challenge is to grow to the next level. Our total market capitalization of $100 million right now is less than individual deals that we used to do when we were, my father and I were at Home Properties. So we have the opportunity for growth, and we think we're poised to do that with the current management team that we have. And I think probably the biggest challenge of that growth will just be juggling the timing to make sure that the equity comes in at about the same pace as the deals, so that we're able to keep our leverage at a tight range and not have extra capital sitting around being dilutive. And so far we've managed that very, very well.
Amy, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
For REIT.com, I'm Matt Bouchard.